Good evening. It's half an hour after the market's closed. I'm just going to go through my trades today, just a recap of my trading. Let's just refer back to the 60-minute chart where I do my analysis. Let's just drag it across. Okay, so looking at MES. So today we had Fed speaking. Let's open up a pen. So we had the Fed speaking at 10, so I was a bit wary of that time. So I just got a quick. So I had this level here. I was watching for a rejection. If we came down here, I was looking for a bounce down here in this area of demand. I was also watching for a bounce down here and never got there. But I was waiting for a rejection off of the all-time high, which is there, and that was it really. So, and I was looking for a break and retest of the pre-market, or it wasn't pre-market high, it was yesterday's high down this pivot here. And so let's go into my NinjaTrader where I can go through my trades. Okay, so in the pre-market, I was doing my pre-market video and I took my first short. I was watching the top of that for a rejection, and initially it was going in the right direction. I used order flow as well to get in, so lots of big sellers around there, and you see the volume came in around 8:30. We had news at 8:30 as well, and that stopped me out there and there. So I got two. My entry was there. Probably not a very good entry. I really wanted to get an entry up here, but I took a stop there, there, and there. So that was my first stop of the day. I really wanted to come back down towards the VWAP. I was aware I was going short against a strong trend, but it's into an area I was watching, 31, 35. That was an area. I was a little bit short of that area. My next trade was again another short. I went short there, took a tight stop, and then I stopped myself out a couple of times again. Took out the rest of my trade. So that's two stops there, one stop there, one stop there, and still watching this one, kind of the 135. I was still watching order flow, and we had a lot of small buying orders up here. So it looked like it ran out of steam. Bear in mind, it'd been running up since 3:30 in the morning, and there's been no major pullback. It's been going up, went sideways, going up, sideways, up, sideways, kind of up, and then a little bit of a pullback, more sideways, up, sideways, up, sideways. So there was no respite, and so I took a short just as I saw confirmation on the order flow up here. I went short there, and I took profits there, there, and there. So that's a decent trade, that one. I'm not sure why there's so many. I think it's on trading 20 accounts. It looks like there's a few areas where I get out and you get a little tiny bit of slippage in each account. But that was my entry. So that one trade there made up for the two losing trades I had here, and that was a 3R out and a 5R exit. So that's a 5R trade for that one, which is decent. My stop was just above the high of the day. I had a tight stop. I had 3 different stops set up. And then my next trade was this break and retest of the pivot, and it's exactly, if I go back onto this one, so this is a 60-minute chart here. You can see yesterday's high was there, and I was looking for a break and retest of yesterday's high, which is around 35 again. So back into this chart, and then I took a screenshot earlier of the order flow, which I'll go into in a second. So as it pulled down, coming back down into 35, I went long. I kind of got out at the bottom, and then I hesitated because I was thinking, do I really? I was holding this trade down, and I was in a bit of a bias at that point. You know, I was short. I knew the trend was up, and it was kind of always had an entry to get in at 31, 35. Let's open up my trade plan, which I've got open in front of me. This is today's trade plan. Where is it? Come on. And then I just like to have my plan in front. So it's calendar, and it's the 7th. Okay, so pre-market notes. Here we go. So I've got my pre-market notes, and So my pre-market notes was always watching 31.35 for a break and retest a pre-market high. So that was 51.35, this area here, break and retest. And I was kind of looking for a rejection at 46. It's kind of the area. That's why I got in a bit too early down here. I was looking for a double top. But that's why that area there was part of my plan as well. 51.46. This here, 51.46 rejection. And then into supply time. And then, so I was kind of looking for that rejection, which is great. And then next one was a bounce, so this one here. And these are levels I discussed in the pre-market live video I did earlier. So this is these levels I have in place, you know, an hour or so before the market's even open, so I knew what I wanted to do. And it's just easy when you follow your plan. So that was my level. So I was short here, I got out there, and I hesitated. I was thinking, you know, do I want to hold this for potential down to the VWAP or further? Then I realised, you know, my plan was always to break and retest all that area. So I cut my trade, I reversed, I went long. I think my entry was there. So I was long on this trade. I didn't take any ads, unfortunately, so I took one off there. Because I was already in the profit from that trade, I was up. I didn't want to give back profits, and we had decline in volume as well, and it looked like it might wanted to give up. But I took one off there, made me feel better, and then my stop loss was all put up to the break even, so I never was in any drawdown on this trade. And then we tried to break the high. This is all-time high now, or is it all-time high? No, that's not all-time. That's all-time high was up here. So we're trying to break today's high, and it struggled a little bit. And so we had news coming up at 10. So the 10 o'clock news, I raised my stop from break even there to there, and you can see. Hang on one second. My stop was there, and I had a 3R target about there, and you can see it came down and just pinged me out before hitting my 3R target. So a bit annoying. So I took a 1R. Would have taken 3R, but I didn't. I took it more at 2.5, maybe 2R. And then my next out was at 5R. No, sorry, let's get this right. 3R, 5R. That's a 5R target, and my 10R target was there. However, it came up to the all-time high, broke all-time high, and I used order flow to scale out, and I also ran it watching the 2-minute chart where I was just trailing it up, and order flow got really heavy around there, which I've got a screenshot for. I'll open it now, and I always take screenshots because I put them in a trade database, which I like, which I'll show you. This is my trade database. So all the different trades I take, what I'm looking for, order flow, all my different strategies, and absorption, and this is today, all-time high reversal. So let's show you what I was looking at when I got out of the trade. So my entry was down, I can't remember what it was exactly, it was around about the break and retest, so it's down here. So going further in, so that was around just before 9, just before 9:50 I think it was. So my entry was around here, but it's not on this chart, and you can see we had large areas of absorption, which usually signifies a reversal. There was the bid and the ask was quite large. You see all these are in the thousands here, thousands and thousands rather than hundreds. And if you look at a normal candle, you know, these previous ones, even though there's a lot of volume in this candle, they were still in like the 500s, the 200s, the 600s, you know, a biggish area there. And that's the all-time high area as well. And then so we're coming into all-time highs, and so I didn't like that. So I saw some big orders near the top as well, and then there was a small order as well, this one here. So there's a single-digit small order, and as soon as I see that, that means there's no more interest from buyers up that area. You know, we've had 500, 300, 200, not much interest there at 15. 300, 400 orders almost, 150, and then you see the volume just starting to dissipate at the top. And then we had this bigger volume node here, 200, which which with all the reducing volume, that probably more likely was a limit order, a rejection order. So, and as soon as I saw that too, that's where I got out. So I got out as we broke down through that, and my out was just about there. So out through that level there, and that's good. And these three lines in red, this is areas of big orders were already there waiting to get out. So I knew it's either going to come back, and it's going to come back and hit that as resistance. So, and it played out quite well. Just another thing to note, we had large orders all around here, so it looked like we were getting ready for a pullback. And normally when you see them stacking up like that, the market's going to head towards the most liquidity. You can see all the orders stacked up there, ready to pull back. So that's a decent trade and a decent out, and that's my last trade of the day. You can see then we did pull back. Should I have held that runner? Because bear in mind my break-in was all the way down here. I don't know. I'm trying to hold runners. I didn't take any ads. Maybe this should have been my ad area. Should be looking for an ad, but it was a smaller run back up. No, probably not much more than what I had from there. And that was it. So basically used order flow, cumulative delta, and volume price analysis on the normal charts to see where volume was declining and increasing coming into these areas, and that's where I managed to get out. And you can see my exit candle was just there. You can see that little yellow dot, that's my out, and my entry was here. So it's a decent run up. I had quite a decent run, quite a decent gain. So decent day really. And then it freed up some time then for me to just do some programming. I did take this short up here, and that was on my TradeOvate account. In fact, I tried this double top actually initially, and I took a little bit of profit there. And then I tried a triple top. Again, order flow was so set, and I wasn't too happy. And I'll be honest with you, I was over trading this point, so I probably shouldn't have taken that. I took a little stop there, and I tried another one there, took a little stop there. I was really tight stops, and then I got back in here and pretty much high of the day, and I got out. In fact, I had to go to a meeting and I missed this pullback. I probably would have got out when it got down to, I was probably keeping an eye on that pivot there. Didn't quite get there, but it did in the post market. And when I finished my meeting, I had my stop. My stop was just always above well, that's all-time high as well. My stop was always up there. And when I got back from my meeting, I kind of looking at it, didn't get stopped out because that's when my stop was in place, and I had a profit target down here actually hard, a hard coded one. Okay, so if I was away, then I would have taken something, and I saw it come down, pull back up, and I thought, you know what, I don't want to get back the profit, so I just took it out about there. So decent day, kind of the similar place, not too dissimilar to where I took it out. Probably a little bit higher than that it was previously. So that's it really. Those two stops which I took trying to find that top probably didn't make up for that winning trade there. So, or a trade, what should I say, that trade there. So it's probably about a break-even trade really. But the point is, I should have stopped trading there. I didn't need to trade up here. But a double top, all-time high, and it looked good, especially the order flow. We saw this big red candle come in as well, but it just couldn't follow through. The buyers are stronger today. And you can see from the cumulative delta below, it was just slowly creeping up all the way until we hit that all-time high. Another thing to note as well, if I go back into my order flow screen, so 230, this area here. So it's kind of not a very good reading of the market, because you think price is coming down, divergence going up, you're kind of expecting it to put up another high. And in fact, I went to my meeting, I was around about here as I left for my meeting. I was thinking maybe I should just get out of it, but I held it. Yeah, you know, I probably shouldn't have taken this trade in the first place. I should have just left it and just enjoy the rest of the day. But anyway, that's my trading today. Order flow again helped me get out. At the time was the very high of the day, and look at that candle I got out on. Couldn't have got out at a tighter spot. It's such a small candle, but the information within that candle and the order flows was what made me realise that's the place to get out. And that's it. So decent trade up, decent trade down, and a couple of stops. So 2 losers, 2 winners, and that's a decent day. I took 5R on that trade, and I took almost 10R on that trade. I was just a little bit below 10R. I think my 10R was slightly there. Would have got it eventually. I think that would have been 10R there, and definitely would have got it if I just held. But you know, I was happy to take 9R or 9.5R, whatever it was. So decent day trading, and you know, these are why I like trying to find these paper cuts to get to a level, because eventually you get a move that moves down, and that gave me 5R, and you know, I had a tight stop, makes up for these 2 1R losses, and then this I was never in drawdown in this one. This is always positive from the moment I got into it, and then I was more concerned about trying to find the top and trying to get out at the right time without giving much back, and that was a perfect out. You know, I got out. Look at my out. So I got out on that candle there, the bottom of that candle. Little did I know the next one. I did know because I could see it setting up on the order flow. But if you're just playing a normal candlestick chart like this, you would never have known the next candle was going to be this big red candle. But I knew that was happening before I even got into it, because I could see it happening. And I went back to that screenshot I showed you. That screenshot was the X-ray into the market. Go back to that again. So this is that candle which oh, a bit wonky. That's the candle which we just looked at, the red one, but I was getting out here and here, and in fact my out was just at that point there, and that's purely because we had all these big orders, and we had a small order up here, and all these big orders, 1,000, then a small order. So I knew there was no more interest from buyers, and then I was out a little bit early. I was out on this candle here, around about that point, at that point, and you can see the next candle definitely. As soon as I saw that, I would have got out anyway. Two, and then we sold off, and you saw what happened. It all sold off for the next half an hour or so. So that's it. There's nothing really more to add. Order flow is like my X-ray vision into candles, and I think it's great. So this is what I was trying. The point I'm making is, how would you know that's going to happen just by looking at a candlestick? You don't. And it's kind of obvious. You can look at the volume. You can see here the volume was increasing, and then let's look at a normal candlestick again. So up here you can see volume was increasing, volume's increasing. It's looking strong, and then we kind of had two you know, okay candles, volume, same size volume, and then we had a bit of a stronger volume, you know, and you say that's all normal looking. You know, you'd think that's going to push up again. Obviously a bottom tail candle, or what do you call it, a hammer candle at the top of a range, top of a trend, is the first sign of weakness, because obviously if it wasn't weak, why did it pull all the way back to that point? But then it was on higher volume, so you probably wouldn't, you would have just, I would have, before I was looking at order flow, I would have put that down as maybe we got a little bit of a move left. I'll still hold it. You know, my stop would have been down, where was it, down here somewhere. Hang on, I'm looking at the wrong place, sorry, here. Ignore that, that was the trade I was taking on the second one, on the trader, but here I meant, sorry, that's my exit there. That was that big candle to come out next, and yeah, this is the hammer candle I was referring to. That's usually a sign of weakness on the trend, so you know, that's a bit of volume price analysis. And let's go back to the volume. You can see increasing volume, increasing volume, increasing volume into that candle, and then we had a small narrow range candle, but that was a smaller volume, so that's all in check. And then a bigger, wider range candle with a wide range volume bar. Then a smaller candle with a top and tail, maybe that's alarm bells should be ringing. Still is less volume, but not as less as the one before, but it's a small candle. So you would not have known that this candle, these two candles here, you cannot tell by looking at this volume that there were big areas of volume building up. You know, it just looks like normal volume. In fact, it looks like increasing volume, like looking to keep going, you know, to continue the trend. And that's the point of order flow. It lets you see inside these candles, and that's a decision I made that I wanted to get out 5, maybe 10 minutes before this red candle came in, and then we saw it just coming selling off a little bit. Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, hit the like button, especially if you find this useful. I'm happy to talk about order flow. If there's anything else on the order flow you want me to talk about, just let me know. Just leave a comment, and hopefully you traded well today. Okay, thanks for watching.